Welcome everyone, and today we have a tournament game. It was from the last Fang boost. It is immune against B team, the grand final, the second match of the grand final. And here we are going to cover Wraith. That is a pick that immune decided to choose to be able to counter the openness of Grim. And as usual, we're gonna here cover like the build. Of course, we start with the knock knock into the peekaboo. Interestingly, here we go for a knock knock level 2, not for a surprise at level 3. We want more poke damage. And then we go for a surprise at level 4. In terms of abilities priority, nothing too surprising here. To back it up, the ultimate first. Then we got the knock knock, then peekaboo, and we finish with the surprise. In terms of itemization, it was a very long game, so we have like the full swipe. And we started with the crest. We got the Witch Stalker to be able like to counter like the CC of the enemy team. Then we have like Resolution, but Resolution actually has been finished like as a third item. Like first it's just like a Soul Calice that then we go immediately into the Malady to help with the clear and also like help with the burst damage. Then we got the Vanquisher, Demolisher, like reinforcing like the crit aspect of the character with also like a lot of damage. Like to be fair, Demolisher, Vanquisher, like combined perfectly with Wraith. Then nuclear rounds, because now we're starting to have like enough crits to get like use of the nuclear round and increase ability damage. And then we finish with the Infernum to be able to get like a little bit more anti-tank power and also like a little bit more of a burst. Let's jump into the game. So we have a tournament match. It was the grand final of Fang Boost 8 and it was immune against B team. And we're going to focus on the POV of Neft playing Wraith. And for immune, like Wraith was a solution to Grim. Like most of the team were banning Grim, they didn't want to play against it. And here they accepted on the side of immune to let Grim through and be able like to counter it thanks to like the Wraith. So we're going to see how it worked out for them. And also like having like a little bit of a Wraith game that was kind of considered like off meta in a sense. But as we are going to see, like if you actually have a pocket strat, like that you have like some ideas, you can maybe make it happen. So of course, when you play against a phase, the most important thing is to try to limit like the opportunity for them to get the energy lens on you with the full combo, plus then the rest, the Grim damage, because Grim damage by itself is already a lot of damage, auto attack, a Q plus the passive, but with energy lens like the poke gets like even crazier, and that's why like you have seen that Neft was like kind of playing like very close to the walls. And here we have Penguin that like they managed to get the level 2 transition and they punish very well. Perfect stasis bomb into a perfect cage. Once again, you want the cage to body block as much the movement of the opponent, and that's exactly what they do. And here we see that Neft tried to be aggressive, but they had the bubble selected, the disruptor shield on 7-1, so that's gonna be eaten. And since it has been eaten, like as you can see, we don't go for the snipe afterwards because that would have been like not a lot of damage and potentially like some waste of mana, and so we don't want that to happen. So unfortunately here we don't connect, but we see we keep like applying the pressure. And why do we apply the pressure on that dual lane like crazy? It's not really like to look for kill potential because like the kill potential is not really there. It's to hollow the jungler, Conte, to be able to invade that 5 camp. That's exactly what they're doing. And then with the pressure, they're gonna also try to invade the 2 camp. And as you can see, like here we're rotating, but it's kind of safe because we have everyone. And here we're gonna like snipe also the 2 camp, kind of putting Venom on the steel already like super far behind. So naturally here we see a little bit the differences when it comes to competitive gaming compared to solo queue, because you can do this type of movement, like you're playing with your jungler, you're playing with your mid laner, like even as early as 3 minutes 30 we create like something. Here we're probably gonna get root, but no, Penguin go for the cage to actually like stop the root. That would have been like decent poke. And here we kind of have to be careful though, because like both Penguin and Neft are getting kind of low on mana, so they cannot spam as they want. Here we try to go for a stun, we're getting poke back. It's a little bit like a tough position here because we cannot really fight, we cannot really crash, so we have to be a little bit like careful. So for now we're gonna focus like on last hitting, of course. Last hitting is very, very important on the carry role. You want ideally to not miss a single minion in the lane if you're not being forced to miss the minion by the enemy duo lane. And here we kind of keep like the wave even in a sense, even though like now they have like one more range. And here we have Conte arriving, looking for the gank. We're focusing on the phase first, trying to get the flash out. We're gonna flash after, perfect wall by Conte. And here we're gonna try to get the kill and we're gonna secure the first blood of the match. And kind of well played by Penguin and Neft. Like Penguin and Neft, they were kind of low on mana, but they keep like the pressure, the tension up. Like not really the pressure, the tension up. Kind of giving the impression that they're like not really like offering themselves, of course, because if you offer yourself like without any consideration and making like a very bad play, of course, like at that level, the enemy team will realize that something is happening and the jungler is coming. So they kind of keep the tension up without like selling it too hard and selling that Halo like completely 7-1 and Bondru to not realizing that they're getting gank, and so they're gonna take advantage to get like that first blood. Cost like the flash, but of course also like one thing I want to mention is that they focus on the phase. Why they focus on the phase? Because of course if you focus on the Grim, phase is just gonna like pull through the telekinetic link and nothing is going to happen. So now that the phase doesn't have flash, she can be like ganked again, or she can be rewind when Neft get the level 6 and they can try to get like advantage of that. However, they still have to be a little bit careful if they go for it, because like Grim can then just step up if they focus too much the phase, and Grim still does a lot of damage. Especially since now we're going for the Soul Chalice as the first item, so we're trying to stack, which means that in terms of like power spike, we're not like super strong, and they will have a power spike on the enemy duo lane once like 7-1 finishes first item. And here we can see like the poke going on with like the energy lance into the displacement blast. That's a lot of poke that is very hard to survive, especially since like the support is Decker. So Decker doesn't offer any sustain in lane, so that's something that they have to be careful about. And so here we're trying like to kind of slow as much as we can. Here they go for energy lance. And here we got like a very nice peekaboo on both of them, and we keep poking. But we see like in terms of mana, we're already like getting kind of low. So we're gonna go for the reset here. We don't really want to expose ourselves. And it was like the cannon wave. So I think like Neft is not gonna lose a lot. And so realizing that under that pressure, it's better for him to reset on that timing. Even though like he's gonna lose a little bit of the farm, but it's better to lose a little bit of the farm than being stuck in a very tough place and then like offer also the Fang Tooth for the enemy team. So this is where you have some time to choose your back timing, and a back timing that will limit the amount of farm that you are losing. Also, like that back is before the respawn of the gold buff, which means that now they will have priority if they want to secure the gold buff. But since Penguin is gonna reset, as you can see here, Neft is not like hard pushing the wave. It doesn't want like to fully crash it, because he want to let Penguin come back and then they can like play the 2v2 again. If he like was just hard pushing, maybe they arrive to capture the wave, then it's a freeze. You have to expose yourself, and that's not ideal. Here the wave is gonna start like to step up, but now like Neft is gonna be alone, but not for a very long time. As you can see here, we have Penguin that is around. And also they take advantage of the Iggy and Scorch plus the return of Conte from base to force like that Fang Tooth. Iggy and Scorch like allow you to do the Fang Tooth very early and very fast. And so they're just gonna secure that at the cost probably maybe of the gold buff, but a Fang Tooth for the team compared to the gold buff, much better. Very nice stun onto the phase. We're gonna go like for the rewind. We get the cage that block a little bit, but a little bit too early. We're gonna get Conte that is diving like very hard, and now we get the damage, but good rotation by Ven with the level 6. Gonna connect onto Penguin, forcing the flash out of the Decker. So in the end, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and we lose the jungler to kill only the enemy support that didn't have flash, and we also lose the flash of the Decker. So overall here, a better situation for the side of B team. They got the better end of the stick, but still they lost the Fang Tooth, so they're still like slightly behind overall. Also, one saving grace that they do have on the side of B team is like, despite like Neft being part of the first 2 kills, he didn't secure a single one of them. So, ooh, very nice damage and forcing the flash of Grim. Like, I didn't see that happening, and you can see the constant poking of Neft kind of forced like 7-1. to be able like to pay attention to. And here we're gonna go like aggressive, try to trade under the tower. We're gonna get a kill. Here people are rotating. Like Neft knew he was dead 100% because he doesn't have flash. So he decided to go like aggressively. Oh, I think his flash came back up. But even though like I think it was better, and so here he decided to trade. But I kind of like here, as you can see, like Neft applying a lot of pressure with the Wraith. Allow like kind of Penguin to become like invisible to the eyes of 7-1. And that's a thing that sometimes like carry don't really understand. The amount of pressure you're able to apply on the enemy carry means that it's easier for your support to be able to land his spell, because he has to pay attention of multiple things at the same time. So I think it's pretty important that as carry, when you have the opportunity to apply some pressure, like try to do it. Because if you wait like for your support to land everything, well, then it's very easy for the enemy carry to dodge like most of what your support is doing, or even punish your support every time you step up. So here we go for a surprise, trying to be like a little bit aggressive. We see that Penguin is on the other side of the map, and so Neft is kind of still playing the 1v2, but is keeping it like kind of safe as well. Like Wraith is very good at that, like you can still like farm from a safe distance. Here he's gonna get like engage on, but with the surprise, he allow to get the disengage, and you can see he kind of keep like the poking pretty even, and because they have gone aggressive on him, suddenly like the wave crashed. So that means that now it's going to be able to bounce back after a certain point, even though like here it's not really like that much. And so like Neft still like force them to be around, like kind of still be in reasons. That way, like, they don't feel super confident. Like, why is Neft, like, being aggressive like that, despite the fact he's in the 1v2? Well, if he doesn't do that, like, then 7-1 and Bondrewd will feel super confident to fully zone him from the experience. And so he kind of need to kind of show, like, teeth a little bit, so he can keep, like, farming these minions, because he doesn't want to be, like, fully denied from all the situation that Penguin is away. Still, like, now he has to be very, very careful, because, like, he's low on mana. His health is still like 50%, 60% with the level up, but like you all know, like the burst that the Grim.X can actually do with like a displacement blast into GTFO. And here, like you can see, despite having like the priority on the wave, is not in any situation to fight. I would have seen like so many people pull the gold buff there. They would have lost the gold buff, they would have died, and that would have been like a bad situation. So overall, like Neft being in the 1v2 situation for a long time actually managed to still farm pretty okay and didn't offer any kill, and so he got like a little bit of solo experience as well for himself. So now he's a level up, and his team managed to secure the mini prime on try to contest the mini prime on the other side of the map. I think it's still B team that secured it, unfortunately for them. So despite like all the good work by Neft, it wasn't enough despite the 4v3 situation. And now we do have Penguin that is back. And so now we're starting to apply like some pressure. And here you can see we wait for the end of the shield to be able to deal like as much damage as we can. We're gonna go for the rewind with the ultimate plus the auto attack, Malady proc onto Bondrewd, so Bondrewd take a lot of damage, and here very well executed. Penguin, to be honest, one of the best support in the tournament, if not the best. All the timing are pretty clean, he's never overexposing himself, but he applied a lot of pressure, and now that we got the kill and we force the face back, we're gonna try to secure this Fangtus, even without any end to be able to secure it, because we have enough damage, and the most important thing is that there is nobody that is around to contest. So if there is nobody around that is to contest, and they know that because they see like multiple people on the right side, well, it doesn't matter if you have the hunt or not, because like if nobody is gonna like apply some damage, you can still secure it. And so here you can see they secure it before the Quang arrive. Maybe a little bit like off lazy back, they did not expect the Quang to be here, so they're gonna like find the kill onto Penguin. Neft is gonna use the Witch Stalker to dodge the root. He's gonna get like captured by the tether, have to flash away because Llama secure like a nice tether after, and have to reset back to base. So here, maybe a little bit greedy of the back inside the pit, because it took them quite a long time to do the Fangtus, and so in the end they ended up losing Penguin, also like the cleans and the flash on Neft. So that's a lot of resources being like lost. They also almost lost their tower on the left side, but still, like we secure second Fangtus, which means that now we have the triple Fangtus potential. For their team, triple Fangtus is nice. It's not game winning by any means, but it's still like something that can be interesting. And you can also like know that now the enemy team is going to try to contest the third Fangtus for sure, and so you can start to plan some things around that play. So it's always like pretty good to get like those first two Fangtus. Here you can see that Conte is fighting in the jungle against the steel. We're not gonna like step forward here, we're just gonna secure the gold buff. At that moment in the game, 15 minutes, like contesting a gold buff is almost impossible once you get pulled. As we can see, we can like drag it like super far away. And here we're not risking anything. So here we keep like getting like a good farm. As we can see, we're at 143 CS at 16 minutes, so we're close to the 10 CS per minute. Not there yet, but still like pretty good, despite the fact that we are applying, like, to be fair, it's a very, very high pressure lane. And here we're gonna get like a little bit of stun, but as we can see, like 7-1 was in range to start dishing damage. Penguin took a lot of damage, gonna use the ultimate. Neft is trying to step forward to be able like to protect him, but it's not gonna be enough. Neft doesn't have flash, so they have to be careful. He's trying like to disengage, gonna get the steel ultimate onto the face, and in the end that's gonna be a double kill. And here you can see like the strengths of the Grim. Once the Grim gets in range, it's just like he attack as fast as a submachine gun, but with the power of a shotgun in every shot. Like that's pretty strong, and that was a reason that Grim was banned by almost every single team. And that's also like one of the risks you take when you accept to let it like open for the enemy team, of course, because like Grim is still like there for a reason. Still, overall, like here we can see we're slightly ahead on CS. We're the same like kills on the rest compared to the Grim. So we're slightly behind in terms of kills. In terms of tower, I think we got like a tier 1 tower on each side. Actually, they got two tier 2 tier 1 tower on B team, so B team is slightly ahead on structures. In terms of objective, we have Immune that is slightly ahead because they got like one more, 2 Fangtus against 1 mini prime. But here we can see B team is grouping around the mini prime and probably gonna secure that one as well. So we're gonna equalize on term of objective. And so overall, like I feel like B team is slightly ahead of Immune for now. Also, like having that mini prime at that moment means that the mini prime is probably gonna be still up for the Fangtus fight, and that's the triple Fangtus fight. So that's something that is gonna be like a little bit dangerous. Here we see that Neft is gonna secure this tier 1 tower in the dual lane. So we equalize like the situation when it comes to structures, and here we're gonna go back to base, spend the gold we have, and then come back probably to be able to be strong for the Fangtus fight. Here, like, we cannot push one more wave. As you can see, like, the Quang arrived into the dual lane, so that would have been griefed, and there was, like, nothing else to farm on the map, so that was, like, the back timing to be able to spend your gold before the Fangtus. And now you can, like, go back to over around the dual lane. Maybe you can go, like, for the gold buff. You can do the tree camp until the wave arrives if you want, as you can see. So a little things when you clear, like, jungle like that, and Neft does it, like, perfectly, is when you use the peekaboo on all minion, like you can snipe every single minion that has the mark to get your knock back every time, and so you maximize your DPS on the camp. So that's like a little trick. It's pretty obvious, but if you don't know, feel free to start using it. And so here we're gonna have like the Fangtus fight. They're trying like to get like the wall. Llama is going to go onto Neft. Of course, like we want to kill the carry. The rest like cannot kill really by himself, and you can see that Conte and Penguin are coming to help, but that means that the rest of the team is left in a 2v4 because 3 people like come to the Quang. So both offlaners sacrificing their life, and here they're gonna like start like these Fangtus. They have the control of the pit. The Fangtus at 20 minutes like dies super fast. Itami Mikey is kind of low on mana. We're looking at getting like some kill down, but we cannot do anything because like there was like this steel wall, and here we're gonna like be forced to flash away. We survive with like 46 HP. TS is completely zoning. Everyone is super low on the side of Immune, so they will have to disengage probably. Conte is gonna die. Here we were trying that maybe if someone like keep chasing, we can go like for the peekaboo, knock. But here, B team secure the third Fangtus of the match and actually like protect themselves from getting like the triple Fangtus and the 8% more physical and magical power and physical and magical armor. And here you can see like still kind of being like pretty strong at denying this res. Like we have seen like the shield wall kind of stopping like all the damage that Neft could have done, and he cannot step forward either because then he will just get jumped on and will be immediately killed. And that's exactly what TSC has done. Like as soon as they realized that Neft was in that position, Gideon like torn space forward and kind of fully forced Neft away from the fight. So yeah, Res does a lot of damage, he pokes very well, but he has inherently like this limitation that is very, very easy to dive on in a sense. Like surprise, surprise is good, like with the invisibility to be able to be elusive, that they don't know where you are before the team fight start, but once people find where you are, they can just jump on you, and that's like become very, very dangerous. So here we're gonna like rotate, trying like to defend like this tier 1 tower in mid, but I don't think they can realistically do it. Conte is trying to use like the wall to kind of stop that, but that's gonna be like a little bit aggressive. But Neft like immediately going for the poke on 7-1 to kind of scare him away so they cannot like pursue the chase. So now we have the big ore prime that is up, could be a contention point. To be fair, none of the team are that far ahead that they can just like force it with no carry in the world. And here, like, once again, like you remember, we have a tempo up, so most of the time that means that after the tempo, people go for the reset. The shield wall is missed, so that's not kind of like stop this tower from going down. And so here, very well played by the side of Immune, taking advantage of the fact that they got the tower, so they decided to go for a reset, and then they go for the pushback. Here we force a flash out of 7-1, Conte creating like a lot of disruption on the right side. Here we're gonna keep like the poke onto 7-1, not letting 7-1 step up, but at the same time we also get like a pretty good trade back, and we're gonna manage to extract Conte for that situation. Both team playing that like pretty well, not letting like anything appear, but now we got the rotation from Lama. That's gonna be It's Me Mikey that die. Maybe we overstep our welcome here in the mid lane, not realizing that the offlaner could rotate while Moros is still like super far away, didn't at all rotate for that fight. TSC is gonna be aggressive. As you can see here, it's something I love about like Neft, is like you can see like the Gideon is going like aggressive, and what does Neft do? Like immediately go for the peekaboo knock knock. I know it seems kind of like normal to do, but a lot of players would be like under this type of pressure, just walk away and do nothing. And it's actually like important for you to actually like apply pressure back, otherwise they feel free and they get away with like chasing like crazy. And by like keeping your time like being like cold-headed, like you get an opportunity of maybe turning things around. Unfortunately here it's not the case. B team like kind of getting the kill, trading with the Gideon, but we're also gonna lose Conte, so that's gonna be like a 2-for-1 in that situation. And so far like Lama with the rotation doing like a pretty good job. In terms of CS, we're still like 75 CS up on the side of Team Immune. We have seen that Neft was like at 230 CS, 10 CS per minute on the rest, slightly better than 7-1, but 7-1 have 5 kills while Neft only have 3. And also like they secured in terms of tower, we actually like know ahead on the side of Immune. Moros didn't rotate for that fight early, but at least he secured a tier 2 tower on the off lane. And now we're like getting close to the time where we have double big objective on the map. Primal Fangtooth like a minute away from respawning. And so we're probably like gonna have like some contention point there. To be fair, Immune would love to get that Primal Fangtooth to get triple Fang. And also like the burst, like Primal Fangtooth, the Burning Blaze effect, like for a Wraith, for like a Iggy and Scorch, like that's very, very, very good. Like damage, poke damage, which will make the game kind of complicated to play for B team. So here we are at the moment that neither team wants to make like any mistake. We're trying to keep like wave pushed, so we get like priority on the map. As you can see, Iggy is going on the left side, getting back like the pressure. But we have to be careful to not get like picked up. And to be fair, like with a Quang, a Steel, a Gideon, like the enemy team have a lot of chase potential. We try to go a little bit onto the Quang. The Quang is gonna use the ultimate. He's like was a little bit in a tough spot, but tried to go fully onto Neft. And once again, we got like Conte plus Penguin fully like peeling for Neft, but still like Lama did a lot of damage. The rest of the team didn't die though in the meantime, but now we have a good wombo combo with the shield slam, the black hole. Conte is gonna end up falling. Moros is still into the middle of the fight, but the team cannot help him because there was like the glacial wall from from the Aurora. And so here we were looking at maybe like capturing like some like low HP target, but in the end there is nothing to be found. So we're just gonna steal like the 2 camp and then we're gonna reset. So once again, B team winning a team fight, 2-4-1. It seems that Immune is having trouble and Llama is creating a lot of disruption. Like it's the second time we see that. So Llama end up offering his life. To be fair, like very good turnaround by Immune to peel for Neft, but then like Neft is still like pretty low on health. Also, as we have seen, Penguin was low on health, so like the Quang still deal a lot of damage, while unfortunately the Iggy and the Grux like remain alone on the rest of the team fight, which is like a 2v4 situation, and end up like paying with their life. So here we can see that actually B team like forcing the R prime. So we're gonna try to go for the rotation, try to make something happen. Like Wraith is gonna be like spot down by a ward. They do secure the R prime, so very well played on the side of B team. Immune wasn't ready for them to like do a beeline immediately towards the R prime after this 2-4-1 trade. To be honest, that is like that was a possibility, and so now like B team has the R prime on all 5 members while we don't have any like control of the Primal Functus area, and so that's gonna be like a rough situation for Immune. Like that could be like double big objective, and double big objective at that level, it's very hard to come back from. So here we're going back to base, spending a little bit of gold to get like the claimer, working for the next crit item, and here we're gonna like look at maybe making something happen. To be honest, it's very hard to walk by. They do have the Gideon, the Steel, the Quang. Grim is very hard to go to defense, and here we can see like a very nice ward that was catching like everyone. They're gonna try to rotate onto Llama, but Llama, realizing that people were coming to him, is just gonna like disengage. I'm kind of surprised we're not forcing slightly more on the side of B team to get like into that Primal Functus. I feel like with all Prime, they are like into a good spot, but we don't have the Steel Shield Slam though. So that's maybe like one of the big ultimate that they're missing for this team fight. And here we're looking at maybe like still like dancing around that Primal Functus, but I feel like B team, like I guess they're waiting for the right side. As we can see here, there is a slow push on the right side of the map, and as soon as the slow push like reach the tier 2 tower, you can see like now they're pulling the trigger. So here Immune has a choice: either they fight the 5v5 against the R prime team, or they like rotate to defend like this slow push. But here we can see like Venom already took like a lot of damage. Morris is getting chased by all the other 4 people, but we pull people away from that Primal Functus. So we got some good poke, but at the cost of Conte like taking a lot of poke as well. So this aura is not really like healthy anymore. Neft is gonna try like to find like a better angle. They have to be careful because they can like be attacked here, and you can see here all the both team are kind of looking for something. We still have the slow push going on the right side, so that's something that they have to be careful. And finally the trigger is being pulled by the side of B team. Quang Llama is going on to Neft. Neft immediately using the rewind to be able like to create like some space, and now he will have to wait for like a better engage, trying to find a situation to be able to secure some kill. Gonna look at opportunity here. We already have lost 2 people. We only killed the Gideon, but here we're gonna find the last hit onto the 7-1, and here we're gonna like chase onto Llama. Llama getting kind of low. Neft going aggressively on him, and we're gonna get the snipe. And here we're gonna secure like 2 additional kills, which should stop this whole engagement. And so here you can see that's something that is important to do as res, and also like in those like competitive matches, like every single pick like they really matter a lot. Here we're gonna like try to get away because they were like trying to be aggressive onto Neft. We're gonna like try to get like more damage onto Ven, and then I will keep like, we're gonna try. Ooh, we missed the knock, so that's not gonna be a kill. So what I was saying is like here, if they cleanly disengage on the side of B team, now it's like a 4v3 situation that they can force something with. But also like Neft managed to secure like additional kill. And why is Neft is able to secure additional kill? Because he's patient. Like he got like kind of dove aggressively, and the enemy team is aware of where he is. So he has to wait for quite a long time because he's very low on HP, that he kind of become like invisible to the eyes of people of the enemy team, to then be able like to go for like some like time snipe to secure additional kill. And you have seen like for this fight, like for like 10 seconds or so, like he almost did nothing. He just repositioned himself, but that was like enough for him to be able to secure the aggression. Unfortunately here he had to defend like right side, so he's a little bit late to the party, and we already have lost Penguin. We're gonna get like some good damage here. The fight is a little bit like open like everywhere. We're still like trying like to deny them. Ooh, we go very aggressive from TSC, then we're gonna like secure the dive here. We're gonna look at maybe getting the kill. Ooh, we get the knock though, and so the Steel ends up dying, and we secure also another kill on the Gideon thanks to the Iggy and Scorch. And so like here we're just like wasting time for the enemy team, and once again you can see like I feel like B team is in control of that match, but all those like little last minute pick in those fights allow like Immune to still like kind of survive in a sense. Like B team is ahead, well that's a lot of words, B team is ahead, that's for sure, but they never like win cleanly enough those fights thanks to the last minute kills offered by Wraith that they can actually like confirm like their advantage into a big objective. So now that the R prime is fully gone and we still have the Primal Fangtooth up like that, it feels like we have been fighting around that Primal Fangtooth for the past like 4 minutes, and Immune is kind of like keeping their heads outside of the water, but they still have their full body deep in the mud. So it's something that they have to do, but that's also like in those situations you kind of like clench your teeth, try to survive as long as you can, and maybe an opportunity will arise at some point. And that's exactly what Immune is trying to do. Here we can see that on the side of B team, they decided to go for the O prime. So Immune decided to, okay, perfect. I'm just gonna go for securing the Primal Fangtooth, and we're gonna get triple Fangtooth. Thank you very much. I feel like Primal Fangtooth with triple Fangtooth is slightly better for Team Immune, especially like with Iggy and Scorch plus like Rez. I feel like it's gonna be like pretty rough. Like here, Itsumi Mikey actually getting like captured a little bit, so we're gonna try like to protect him. He's gonna go inside the pit, actually like surviving inside the pit. The team is trying like to get him out. We got like the damage, but here we have TSC going a little bit aggressive, but the black hole is not good enough, and now we're gonna get like enough damage. TSC is already dead, and now like the full enemy team is on full on retreat. And I feel like here on the side of B team, like Itsumi Mikey, yes true, was a little bit out of position, but as soon as like he kind of managed to stall as long as it did, like I think we should have been like disengaging on the side of B team, because Primal Fangtooth is better than all prime in that situation, because you don't get the benefit of like better minion, and you don't get the benefit of the regen. You only get the benefit of like additional damage, while like the burning blaze is like much stronger. And so like here B team like forcing a little bit too much, costing them like the life of 2 people, and also costing them like the inhibitor. Here we actually like looking at maybe like trying to finish the match here, forcing the flash out of Llama. We're gonna go on to 7-1, but Neft got rooted, so like we cannot like follow that up. There it's a little bit too deep on the side of Moros, like they're very close to the enemy fountain, and that's gonna be like people like dying now, and then Neft is trying to get away. So B team kind of throwing the game by going aggressive in that Primal Fangtooth pip onto Itsumi Mikey, and here it seems that Team Immune is throwing back like also the advantage. I feel like here probably we should be looking at just like the inhibitor. Like they still have like the phase, they still have the Quang, they still have the Grim. Like Grim with phase, like very elusive target. It's very hard like to push and to kill them. If they don't kill them, I don't think they can finish with just Primal Fangtooth. So a little bit over aggressive, and not like they're gonna be like costing like the mid inhibitor for it. Oh, they're actually like not fully going for it. On the side of B team, they don't want to risk it. They still, to be fair, it's still like Iggy and Scorch and Rest with the Primal Fangtooth, so it's very hard to push. They still clear like our prime wave super duper fast. So here we're simply like gonna go for the disengage. Here 7-1 in mid, has to be very careful, but we're not going for it. Neft was like fishing for something. TSC managed to go back to base on time, however. And now like both like the Primal Fangtooth is gone. I think the R prime, you still have probably like 40 seconds or so on it, but for the next engagement it will be gone. So we're back to square one, but we have an inhibitor down in the mid lane, but the inhibitor in the mid lane is the least important one. And why it is the least important one is because like inhibitor apply constant pressure, because they have the super minion on that wave, which means that you have to always send someone to defend, or the wave will reach your core and suddenly you will be like in a tough position. Why it's actually like the mid lane then the least impactful one is because it's easy to keep people in the mid lane while still like being able to be everywhere on the map. This is why like taking inhibitor on the side lane is better because it forces like more rotation and put people more out of position and away from objectives. So here we're just like basically waiting for the big objective to respawn, and once they will be like fully respawn, then probably we start to look for something. But for now, we're just like gonna keep wave pushed. We try to get like good lane pressure, good lane positioning, because that helps to not have like tough decision later on. And here we see that we're like starting to group up around the Primal Fangtus on the side of Immune. We do have Llama that is on the right side, so we have a slight moment of a 5v4 if we want, but of course like B team is aware of that and is not gonna offer like an easy 5v4. And here we see that Llama is coming back, so it seems that both teams decided that they want to fight around the Primal Fangtus and they don't want to go for another trade. I think the All Prime is still like gone for quite a long time, so team are not like, even if they wanted to trade, they're not able to. And here Neft like looking for an aggression, and here TSC getting like completely surprised. Very well played, unfortunately not perfect. We're gonna go for the rewind, but TSC used the True Silver with the ultimate to counter the rewind. Very well played, but now that means that TSC is completely gone. That means like no black hole, no flash, no nothing. He cannot like be part of that fight, which means that now we created like a huge like window of opportunity to go for that Primal Fangtus, where like B team needs to be careful. Like very nice movement by Conte and Neft, kind of catching TSC completely off guard. Here we can see Neft is already like getting out, and we're gonna turn around here, going aggressive onto Ven, and then the Primal is very low. We're gonna secure it, and now we can like chase that more, and everyone will have to be on full-on retreat, but will it be enough? I'm not sure. Here TSC trying to sacrifice himself for the rest of the team to be able to get out. That's why like a TP not in direction of his team, but like kind of at the opposite direction. But still, we lose 2 people, we lose the jungler, people are dead for like 55 more seconds, which means that we're gonna secure this All Prime, and then we're gonna have like double buff, and with that double buff like Immune should be able to close out the game. And so you can see like kind of surviving for a very long time. Like getting like those last minute pickup like from Neft in every single fight, when Neft like kind of stayed around with low HP, like kind of playing on a very thin edge. But that was what necessary for like Immune to keep like having shot in that match, not letting B team like completely snowball out of the game. And now like they're like gonna push with double objective. We still have 20 seconds on people being dead. We're gonna like push also like the right side inhibitor. They're both gonna fall, and then we're gonna like probably look for the final siege. Still 8 seconds on Steel, probably Steel is gonna respawn because like we're gonna get like minion that spawn, but here we still have like a wave that is here. They try to deal as much damage as they can. Like enemy core is taking a lot of damage, and probably enemy core is gonna fall, and that's Immune winning this match of the tournament of the grand final. And that's a 3-6 scoreline by Neft on Wraith, kind of like cementing himself as the god Wraith.